Good evening. Thank you for joining tonight. Tonight, we're going to talk just a little about the role of the local church in not only in our lives, but in the life of the community. And several prayer needs will come out of this. When I think about Ebenezer, of course, those that know, those that have been here know that Ebenezer was founded in 1778, very near to this very spot where I'm sitting. And back then, there was nothing out here but Ebenezer. And years later, as the railroad came through Florence, there was an Ebenezer rail stop that did establish the community. It was named after the church, but it established the community. And Ebenezer's kind of been a fixture in Florence, very near now to the intersection of I-95 and I-26, and people that, I-20, I-20, and that's the Greenville coming out in me. I-95 and I-20, and the people that know Ebenezer are very familiar with that and the story of that. But why did God put us here? And I believe there are multiple things that you can find about where we are. Why does the local church exist? The local church, and we've been talking about this on Sunday mornings a good bit. The local church exists, of course, to worship God, to do ministry, to fellowship with each other, to disciple each other, and to conduct or participate in evangelism. And really, it's more than that. We are put here to build each other up and to be a beacon of the hope of Christ. I mean, that's the bottom line. We are put here to worship God, to be here for each other, and to be here for lost people who are looking for Christ. And in order to accomplish that, we've got to live lives that are genuine enough that people believe that Christ is real. Not that we don't have a burden of belief in their world. We have a burden, though, to actually be the church that Christ commanded us to be. And if people see that in us, they're going to see the genuine, the genuine nature of Jesus Christ through us. If we're putting on our Sunday best and coming to church and playing the game, they'll see that too. And to me, the burden of the church as it regards lost people is we don't want to present a facade. We don't want to look like a fake church, a fake bunch of people even, because of the impact it could have potentially on those that don't know Christ. So we are called to worship God and to put him first and foremost, just like Jesus said, the greatest things we can do are worship God and love each other more than we love ourselves. And that love, I believe, extends to people within the church, and it should extend to people outside the church, even those with whom we don't agree, even those that don't like us, don't care for us, and would blot us from the face of the earth. We are called to love them. Recent political events in the United States, have really tested that, I believe, have really put the church in a spot where we need to shine, and we need to shine the right way. And the right way is not by retaliation or by hate. The right way is to respond the way Christ would respond. And the ultimate response is, when Jesus was nailed to the cross and endured all that physical pain, he lifted a prayer and said, "Father, forgive them. They don't realize what they're doing." So church, we've got to respond with that kind of heart. So it's not a battle. It's not a war. Republicans and Democrats want to talk about going to war. That's fine. The Jesus people, we need to be reaching others for Christ, because there's a whole world that's lost and scrambling, and they don't know one way from another. They really don't. So we got to focus on that. If you're not good with that, Ebenezer is probably not a good place for, I'll be honest with you. Ebenezer is probably not a good place for you, because we are going to lean into that and focus on that. Heaven, Lord willing, as long as David White's sitting in this messy office. One day it'll be cleaned up. I won't be here, and then you guys can figure it out on your own, okay? Hope you're having a great week. Love you guys. Bye.